Bushlight. All right, everybody, welcome back to Public Access. I know you're loving it. I know you guys are loving Public Access, all 20 of you that watch. I appreciate it. Watch a little longer than 2 minutes, though. The videos are a little bit longer than 2 minutes, but I appreciate you anyway. I figured I would do something different today. Sometimes I am a news junkie. I read news all day long, several websites. Sometimes you got to check in with the fake news and see what they're pearl clutching, crying, hyperventilating, and lying about. So I went to MSDNC, as Daddy says. MSNBC here. Big topic everybody is talking about. Don't call it Alligator Alcatraz. Call it a concentration camp. I personally have a huge problem with Alligator Alcatraz, and that is that there are no sharks with death rays attached to their heads. That's a problem for me. I think it should be called Alligator/Shark Alcatraz or something like that. I like it. Call it a concentration camp. It is a concentration camp. Like it is the definition. A concentration camp is where you concentrate a group of people, in this case, that shouldn't be in your country. If you were to go to a fat camp, you know those summer fat camps. Hey, leave her alone, Rooster. If you were to go to those summer fat camps, that is a concentration camp with a huge concentration of fatties. Same thing with, any other camp. This is a concentration camp. The only difference, sadly, is that they're not going to gas chambers. They are just going home. It's the truth. All right, don't call it Alligator. Call it a concentration camp. The facility's purpose fits the classic model, and its existence points to a serious dangers ahead for the country. It's actually getting rid of serious dangers that are in the country. It truly, truly is. If you haven't seen, go look up the criminal histories and mugshots of the people that have already been deported. Sick people. We got beautiful Lawrence O'Donnell there, the biggest fucking pearl clutcher and hyperventilator. What do we got? We got, for many Americans, the word concentration camp evokes another country a long time ago in a facility operating in the dark of night. Honestly, our Japanese concentration camps operated during the day. If that's what you're talking about, either that or you're talking about Germany, which we helped fund the Nazi Empire. America loved the Nazis. There's a reason Hitler was on the cover of Time magazine twice, an American magazine. Ford loved him. Ford was very anti-Semitic, but so's our country, even though we act like we're not. Away from prying eyes of an outraged public. But a new concentration camp opened in Florida's Everglades this week, and it's the opposite of secret. Yeah, we're not hiding the shit. Motherfuckers gotta go. President Trump toured the facility with reporters in tow. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem, Florida Governor Ron DeSanctimonious, and other officials posed with him, laughing in front of cages meant for human beings. It's what you do with criminals and prisoners. You put them in cages. You silly, silly gooses. The Florida Republican Party launched merchandise and gave the camp a nickname, Alligator Alcatraz, that the state made official. Yeah, they got like road signs up for it. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. I think they're discounting the fact that they're not called wetbacks for a reason. They went through some dangerous stuff to get here. I think a Mexican has the power to hop on the back of an alligator and ride it back home. I don't know. They're mystical people, very mystical. But it's not just a new prison, Alcatraz or otherwise. I visited 4 continents to write global history of concentration camps. Man, this lady is obsessed with concentration camps. What's her problem? Bushlight. This facility's purpose fits the classic model: mass civilian detention without real trials, targeting vulnerable groups for political gain based on ethnicity, race, religion, political affiliation, rather than for crimes committed. I'm going to do the bird hands. I'm sorry, but if you came here illegally, you committed a crime. They are criminals. They are absolutely criminals. And what else? What else are they saying here? Real trials. You're not a U.S. citizen. Due process is not for you. You get no trial. Your trial is, are you here illegally? Yes. There's your trial. There's your due process. You don't get to come in illegally and then plead your case. Sorry. Sorry, not sorry. Sorry, not sorry. Jesus, these people. Rather than for crimes committed, and its existence points to serious dangers ahead for the country. Again, no, it doesn't. It's getting dangers out of the country. This camp stands apart from other immigration detention facilities for a few reasons. First, its projected capacity of 5,000 beds is several times the average detention center. It's got a lot of them here. Though Immigration and Customs Enforcement is looking at even larger facilities, please. They're looking at getting out 1 million a year right now. That is not enough. We need to get out, which, let's be realistic, there are 40 to 50 million people in this country that shouldn't be here, that are a drain on our systems and society. Even if they're not doing anything wrong, you shouldn't be here. You got to do it the legal way, like everybody else. Just like everybody else. So please, larger facilities, I'm begging you. Its improvised tents and chain-like cages put detainees on display reminiscent of El Salvador's CCOT prison, which is one of the best prisons in the world. So being compared to CCOT prison is like a high five. You know, that's a good thing. And it is billed as a temporary camp, with the theory being that the administration can seamlessly process massive numbers of detainees with rapid-fire judicial hearings by National Guard members turned immigration judges. Perfect. Here's your judge, and he goes, "You here illegally? Yes. Get out." That's it. In practice, this is unlikely to go smoothly. Neither is letting 20 million illegals in your country in 4 years. It hasn't gone smoothly so far. That's why we got to get them out. We got to clean our rooms. Why concentration camps have historical roots in earlier forms of mass detention. They themselves are modern. No, they're not. Countries and governments have been concentrating people they don't want into one place for a long time, going back to Rome before that. Way before that. The patenting and mass production of barbed wire and automatic weapons over a century ago made it possible to detain large groups with a small guard force for the first time. That is not true. That is not true. At the turn of the 20th century, imperial powers such as Spain and Britain set up concentration camps in colonial regions. The camps had staggering death tolls that made early systems unpopular. Apparently, concentration camps have never been popular. Even now, you're complaining about it. But World War I led to a revival of the concept, with nearly 1 million people detained globally. Yeah. The wartime camps paved the way for similar systems after the conflict ended, such as the Soviet Gulag and the detention of homeless people in multiple countries. Which, Ron DeSantis, we have a ton of homeless here in Austin. Please, can we send them to you? Send them to Sudan. Send them to Sudan. We got to do something about these homeless. Those were all in place before the Nazis came to power. So Hitler's camps aren't the lone precedent for the Everglades Project. They're not even, no, they're not, like, they've been around forever. This is a prison for people that committed crimes. Shut up. The extreme case of Germany offers disturbing parallels. And not because the Nazis also allowed reporters to tour the camps. Did they? I thought the camps were pretty secret. Like, most people didn't know about it till after the war. Like, apparently we, the United States military, didn't know about it till we found one. So I don't know if that's true. Someone fact check me. One of you? I don't want to look it up right now. Some defenders of current immigration policy say that arbitrary detention or abuse of foreigners isn't like what Hitler did to citizens. It's not. Years before he came to power, however, Hitler wrote about his goal of stripping German Jews of legal protections so that they would have no more rights than aliens and could be put into camps. The difference is those were citizens, and the people we're grabbing are not. And you know what? Let's say a couple actual citizens get caught up in the crossfire. Should have been white. I don't know. I mean, if you want to deport 20 million illegals, you're going to break some of the wrong eggs. In 1935, at Hitler's behest, the German Reichstag passed the Nuremberg laws, a focus of which was to identify German Jews and revoke their citizenship, with countless other regulations restricting them. Busch Light. I just got off work. I'm allowed to drink this early in the day. Dreaming of a pure Aryan nation, the Nazis initially imagined their targets would self-deport. You know, if only they were that smart. Once the myth of self-deportation collapsed, they turned to more punitive measures. On Tuesday, Noam similarly noted that the Everglades camp was meant to frighten immigrants into self-deporting. If you don't, she said, you may end up here. Or Sudan. I like the Sudan thing. They need food, and they will happily eat the immigrants. What will happen in the U.S. if the pressure to self-deport fails, as it did nearly a century ago? We're already seeing aggressive moves against people living in the U.S. legally. Are they? I don't really believe a lot of what you got to say. I don't think we're really going. I mean, you can be here legally, and if you committed crimes while you're here legally, we can fucking get you out of here. So that's a double-ended term there in the U.S. legally. The administration is still trying to strip legal status from 500,000 Haitians. Well, I'm going to finish this. Who were allowed in before Trump's term? We need 0 Haitians here. All Haitians got to go. That is the most third world of the third world. They all got to go. I don't care if their lineage goes back 30 years and they're on their 3rd generation anchor baby. All Haitians got to go. Get them out. The DOJ is prioritizing cases involving a possible revocation of citizenship, working to undo birthright citizenship itself, which, if we get this, and that's obviously, that clause wasn't meant for people to hop over here on vacation, have a baby, and then, they're planted here. That was for birthright citizenship. Your father has to be an American. And targeting the citizenship of political enemies. So I think we need to take birthright citizenship back to 2000. Any anchor baby born from 2000 till now, revoked. And punish the parents for even trying. The administration wants to define who can be an American in ways that appear profoundly racist. No. We don't have a problem with any race here in this country, as long as you're not some ratchet ghetto, and not liking uncivil people is not racist. People from every country, as long as they're Americans, we don't care. Now, I disagree with a lot of the people that are allowed to be Americans, but, I don't run the country. The Jews do. Profoundly racist, and it seems immigrants are the most politically advantageous large population to target. I mean, that's kind of sad. If they are, we shouldn't have a large population, and not immigrants. Let's get it right. Illegal immigrants. We shouldn't have a large population of illegal immigrants. And there are parallels in U.S. history for these camps as well. Centuries of Indian removal and genocide set the stage for abuse of those not counted as citizens. It wasn't genocide, it was a war. And the gosh darn sons of bitches just wouldn't give up. So we had to keep fighting. Lawmakers and courts wielded the weight of law or executive authority to prop up slavery, allowing cross-border trafficking and detention of humans denied rights. Don't forget who sold us those slaves. It was the Africans. Concentration camps holding Japanese Americans during World War II showed the U.S. government was eminently capable of unjust detention of citizens and non-citizens alike. And I don't agree with the Japanese thing that we did. That was kind of rude, the way we went about it and taking away their businesses and property and stuff like that just because we were attacked by the Japanese. That was also FDR, an adamant racist. FDR was a big fan of Hitler, as was a large portion of the Democratic Party up until we joined the war. Hitler was well liked worldwide, honestly, because as of then and now, people don't like the Jews. I want to figure out why. I want to know what the Jews did so far back in the day, even before Jesus and all that. They did something wrong. And Trump himself has hailed Operation Wetback, love it, a lethal, abuse-filled deportation operation carried out by Dwight D. Eisenhower's administration that included detention camps. Man, back when America was free. Today in Florida, the U.S. is expanding on its own concentration camp legacy. We're seeing other clues that police state tactics are intensifying in America. Thank God. Bushlight. Masked agents in unmarked cars or without warrants who refuse to show IDs or sweeping people off the street. Yeah. All of a sudden you guys are against masks now. Now it's wrong to have masks and act like an asshole. After we dealt with that for 3 years from you people. Some who vanish reemerge. Others have been effectively disappeared. They've been deported, not disappeared. Meanwhile, the budget reconciliation bill would likely make immigration and customs enforcement, in the words of the American Immigration Council, the largest investment in detention and deportation in U.S. history. Yes, thank you. This expansion risks quickly making ICE the center of gravity for state overreach. Overreach all you want, as long as you're reaching in and grabbing illegals. In the Everglades Tuesday, Trump announced his interest in a multi-state network of sites like the one he came to see. Florida proposed a facility as a temporary camp for deportations. But the historical term for this kind of camp is a transit camp. And they're concentration camps too. Yeah, I mean, concentration camp isn't a bad word. The U.S. also has already sent detainees to El Salvador, Panama, Rwanda, and Libya, among other nations, and is in the talks with dozens more countries. We're watching the imposition of global concentration camp network. Do it. When people think of concentration camps, they think of more than 1 million people murdered in Auschwitz, but extermination camps appeared only after nearly a decade of Nazi rule and several evolutions in wartime detention. Excuse me. We're still in the early stages of this arc, but Americans aren't helpless before the administration and its allies. Members of the Seminole Tribe of Florida are already opposing and protesting the Everglades. Shut the fuck up. My biggest regret is we didn't finish these gosh dang Indians off. You know, we've been dealing with that for a long time. Should have finished doing that haircut there. As a threat to sacred lands, fuck your sacred lands. There are sacred lands now. 5 Democratic state lawmakers tried to visit the camp Thursday, but were turned away because they were going there for a photo op to cry and whine and bitch and moan, and probably would have fought some ICE agents for publicity. Shameless. In the face of ICE raids, many communities in Los Angeles canceled 4th of July celebrations. They have been doing that since before COVID. Los Angeles hates people having fun. But activists continued their protests, including an installation of the disappeared of the disappeared outside City Hall. The history of this kind of detention underlines that it would be a mistake to think the current cruelties are the end point. America is likely just getting started. Let's pray so, because the actual cruelty is allowing a bunch of criminals into our country to murder our citizens, kill our citizens, rob our citizens, drunk drive, and be just massive common nuisance, leeches and drains on our systems. So thank you, Ron DeSanctimonious, for sucking Donald Trump's toes, getting this done. And if you're watching this, DeSantis, we need some sharks. Alligator Shark Alcatraz. You're going to have to reprint all those shirts. Anyways, guys, thank you. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be his name. To your country you will go. I'm fucking dumb as shit. Anyways, guys, thank you very much. Coming up next, we got another one about Elon Musk murdering 14 million people. Stay tuned for that. Quack.